Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We are live, and we are ready to rock and roll with y'all tonight. We have a special, fun show planned. That's for sure. Mo Schefter is here. I don't see anybody else's cameras on just yet, but we are waiting. Everybody is in the background, sort of. We got a fun one tonight. As you can see from the title, it is the roast of Russell Sierra Wilson. The honorary guest is Bill Belichick, and tonight's beverages and food is brought to you by none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Vic Jr. is here, Germ So True is here, Jay Ham is here. You will see all of them pop up on your screen shortly. Vic, while we go ahead and send the link and get everybody settled in, talk to the people. How you feeling? What's on your mind?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Trying to find where you change your name here because I just want to let people know I come in peace, despite what I might say today. Okay. Despite some of the things I might say today, I just come in peace.
Are you sure?
I'm going to be as peaceful as I possibly can.
All right, if you say so. I don't know. I feel like if you are announcing that first thing, then there might be some violence that you choose in here tonight.
Well, if you notice the darkness here,
I did.
The darkness surrounding me right now.
I did. Sort of got an Undertaker type of feel to it. Now, my question is the darkness, is that because we attending a funeral-like thing where we about to just, proverbially kill Russell Wilson?
We might bury a couple people alive today.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was going to ask, is it possibly like a grieving thing as we lay to rest your fandom of Russell Wilson here tonight?
Whichever, you know what, your interpretation is your interpretation. We all open for whatever interpretation we want today. Okay,
all right.
That's the beauty of everybody having their own mind. God created us with our own minds where we can interpret things whichever way we want. You know what I'm saying? Just be as objective as possible. That's all we ask for.
You know what? I could not agree with you more, Victor. Unfortunately, I think some of us lose sight of that in this here generation. But unfortunately, shout out to Ty Love and Alfonso in the comment section. Shout out to anybody joining us. Unfortunately, Ty, Marshawn Lynch is unable to attend this evening. But we tried to get him. But he, however, I will say this: when Marshawn Lynch called us back to tell us that he won't make it, he didn't start 67 us. Okay, he didn't call us from a block number.
No,
you understand? When it popped up, it said Beast Mode calling. Hello, what's up, Beast Mode? I didn't have to say hello. Who is this? Which we'll get into. Vic, a lot of things happened yesterday as Jay Ham enters the program. Jay is obviously in the kitchen.
First thing first. Vic, you say you come in peace?
I'm trying to come in peace, bro.
Check my comment in the comments.
Oh, shit.
Heel activity.
Heel activity, yeah.
I got scene gear on. I got my scene mug. I'm on the Culture Ones Network right now. I really don't have no plans on roasting nobody. I'm just really here to instigate and enjoy. I got a few cookies I'm finna get down on. I might even put some more fries in the oil. Hang out for a little bit. Who playing tonight? Who we got? Green Bay and who else? The Raiders?
The Raiders, correct, Armando.
The Raiders. I might find some wrestling to watch. Just saying.
Yeah, man. Listen, speaking of that, and man, I've been trying to keep up with the WWE with the little bit of time I have, and then I forget again that it's a Saturday pay-per-view and not a Sunday pay-per-view anymore.
They don't do them on Sundays no more. It's something like WrestleMania.
I was looking forward to this Fastlane card. It was looking interesting.
Germ, so true.
So
This is gonna be.
The weather has been upon your boy, laying on my head like a gnat at a barbecue, just bugging the fuck out of me today. But we here. We got to give it a go. You know. You know what I tell her? I got to give it a go. You know, I can't be out here. Can't be out here on the injured reserve. I can't. No load management here.
Listen, you need one of those ginger shots.
I need a ginger shot. I need a orange juice shot. I need a couple other shots. Yeah.
So I thought about many different ways to do this show, and this is to show y'all how busy we are in our lives these days. So we're actually about to go over the game plan for the show as we do the show live. Okay.
While we doing that, let me make note that I'm changing the channel because I really just like for no reason at all. I had it on the first 48. And I didn't feel like that was too harsh. Yeah, so let me find something appropriate. Monday night countdown, perhaps something.
That'll work.
2 countdowns at once is fine. But go ahead, Chef. My bad.
You good, brother? You good? So we're going to do this the most natural way. The 3 biggest topics, obviously, is Russell Wilson, the New England Patriots, and the Dallas Cowboys. So I would say let's get started with the easy one, with the honorary guest. Let's get him out the way. Yesterday, the New Orleans Saints came into town. And let's just say it wasn't good. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. The Patriots suffered a home loss of astronomical proportions, 34-0. This is after getting their ass whooped the week prior. Gentlemen, we have talked about this. Vic, I kind of want to give you a little more of floor time. Same with Germ because he didn't yesterday because we was in a rapid fire style. But as I talked about yesterday, the clock is ticking on Bill Belichick. What? And it's fitting I say what? I said the clock is ticking on Bill Belichick. By the way, the infamous what by Stone Cold Steve Austin was created during his heel activity stage when the invasion was happening. What? I said when the invasion was happening. Bill Belichick. We talked about this. Clock's ticking. Vic, there have been plenty coaches who didn't have a quarterback named Tom Brady who were able to build a championship team. Germ, there's been plenty coaches who didn't have arguably the greatest football player ever on their football team who have been able to build a championship program. We are now in year 4 of the post-Brady era. And it seems, if anything, like they are going further away. Seems like they are going backwards. Now, obviously, you don't want to overreact, but you gotta hold his feet to the fire here with Bill Belichick, that is. Last year, he decided to have Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as his offensive coordinators, as the people calling the plays, as the people coming up with the game plan, as the 2 people in his ear. What possibly made him think those 2 guys were going to be the right people to be in the same room week in and week out, day in and day out with Mac Jones? And Mac Jones obviously had a pitiful year last year. And just when you thought a few weeks ago, like, okay, maybe he's starting to put it together, it's been nothing but trending backwards now. And I don't think Mac Jones is the problem. He is part of the problem. I do not think he is the problem. So for Bill Belichick, where do we stand? A, how do we look at him now? B, do we trust him? C, what is the best thing moving forward for the New England Patriots franchise? And whoever wants the floor can have it.
You want me to go? I got you, Jerm.
Go ahead. I mean, look, it doesn't make me any difference. If you want me to go first, I can go first.
Time of possession, New Orleans Saints 39-20. 39 minutes to 20 minutes, obviously give or take 39 minutes. First downs, 17-8. The Saints scored 34 points, had the same amount of punts, and had 12 penalties to the Patriots' 5 penalties. So basically, the Patriots can't score, and they weren't playing no defense. So, Bill, you're supposed to be a defensive genius. Okay, the defense has been inconsistent, and then you're getting no help for the third-year quarterback. That you should be getting a pocket passer who, like we talked about yesterday, is a statue. He's gonna be able to work the pocket, but you need to get him protection and weapons to work with. And Bill, hands down, the last 2 weeks have been the worst performances in the New England Patriots era since he's been head coach. And if the rest of the season goes this way, there's gonna have to be some major decisions done by the Kraft family. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, Jerm. These stat lines look crazy. Again, the Saints had 12 penalties to the Patriots 5. Okay.
So here's another thing, right? There was a stat that came out a few years ago of what New England's record was at home or when they scored 24 points. It was one of those two things, but it has something to do with 24 points. And it was something stupid. It was like a crazy record. Since Tom Brady has left, Germ, the Patriots are 0-11 when a team scores more than 25 points.
Wow.
0-11 when they allow more than 25 points. Now, I know for a fact that was not the case when Tom Brady was there. Another thing to keep in mind is they are now 4 games under 500 without Tom Brady. And this is not a let's celebrate Tom Brady thing. This is more of a, yo, who really are you without the GOAT? This is more of a put the spotlight on Bill. And I love Belichick. But this is more to put the spotlight on him, because whereas before it would be almost blasphemy or ridiculous or reaching to say, oh, that Pete Carroll's a better coach than Bill Belichick. Andy Reid is a better coach than Bill Belichick. John Harbaugh is a better coach than Bill Belichick. Where it was before, it was blasphemous to say all these things, Mike Tomlin. Now all of a sudden it's like, yo, Andy Reid might be better. Yo, Pete Carroll might actually be the better. Look at the Seahawks. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. Just like you said, they might be better now, right now. But we cannot dismiss the longevity. Even when you got 12, even in the package there, I get that. I think the issue with a cat like Bill, think about how long Bill been around in this league in general. He's got over 50 years of service in this league as a coach of some capacity. Going back to when he was in Baltimore with Ted Marchibroda and that whole thing there, and just worked his way up. That was in the 70s. This is 2023. At some point, I think this is the same case in any sport. Your connectivity to the players will eventually dwindle.
Mm-hmm.
You have a few exceptions, like in baseball. You see older cat like Jack McKeon, and you had those type of cats. Said Charlie Manuel when he won with Philly, he was an older guy. You have those occasions, but at some point, you're just not able to really connect with the players, whether it's personality, whether it's just sometimes it's just your time is up.
Too young to connect with?
I don't like the way the narrative that's being spread about Belichick, which is basically, oh, well, you had to go for this long. Yeah, okay, he did, fool. So what? Who wins? He did what he was supposed to do when he had to go. He won.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't dismiss that. And then they won a long time.
A very long time.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you put this, like I seen Shannon Sharp going in, and I was like, okay, that's a fly little rant, but nah, dog, you can't diss dude like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you dissing him like that is really just like if it would be the same if you dissed his quarterback and his quarterback didn't win in Tampa. And speaking in a hypothetical term, and it's like, nah, that's match success that ain't none of y'all matched. Historically, ain't none of you son bitches matched this. So how y'all gonna bark that he overrated? Man, y'all can eat his overrated nuts with that, man. What is you talking about? See, y'all to piss me off with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's like y'all really disrespectful to the history of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't feel about that. You know what I'm saying? When they come on the Belichick end, yeah, okay, he going out tough. Cool. Get your kicks in now because he kicked y'all ass for 2 decades.
100% agree with you.
Right, he older, he ain't got that like that no more. But think about how many Super Bowls he won with 6-round dude. The GOAT was a 6-round dude. Undrafted cats. Still getting to the bowl. Winning the AFC East routinely. With losing draft picks on purpose.
Yeah, but see that's the whole point of it though, Jay, is that like he is still trying to do things the same way,
right?
And not realizing that he needs to
evolve. It's ready to evolve.
He is approaching that point where he's got to recognize that it's you in the kitchen right now. At some point, you start to realize, okay, I got to switch these recipes up. I got to come up with something different. I got to do I got to give this a little more flavor, what have you. I think, again, with this whole thing about Belichick right now, and obviously we don't want to make this whole show about Belichick, and so we're going to just go around the horn one more time and wrap it up. The whole thing about this, why we are bringing Bill Belichick to the spotlight, is because he cannot go out with this sort of impression that he's only been as successful as he's been because of one player. And so I do think the media takes it a little far, obviously, with calling him overrated and whatnot. It's not like
he deserves to be here now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
the conversation deserves to be had. I'm talking in terms of the narrative after this is what I'm, pretty much looking at.
That's fair.
Time for him. It's time for him to go.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, is it time? Like you said, is it time for him to go, or can he evolve and regain some level of respectability with his football team? Because this is a bad football team right now, and they got no business being this bad. They have talent. They got no business being this bad. Anything before we move on to the next topic at hand?
I'll just say this. I'll just say one thing. And this one thing is the most important part of this whole thing. Bill is now seeing what it's like for a lot of other coaches out here who are married to quarterbacks that have not been successful or not been as successful as they would have liked. So now you're married to this first round pick of a quarterback that obviously you want to hit on. Now you get to see the trials and the tribulations of what a lot of other people have went through over the last 20 years because you had the luxury of having Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that first round pick, you escaped the first round pick quarterback for about 3-4 decades. Now that you have that, now you get to see just how hard it is to build a winner based on the fact of you got a first-round quarterback. And now if you're picking a first-round quarterback, what does that normally mean? Normally means your team isn't too good.
And that's where the evolvement. Yeah, that's where the evolving has to come in play.
Right.
That's where the adjustments, everything. Like, and I mean, he wrote a great book on how to build a team. But that was 1991 when that thing was released and everybody was sharing it, and a lot of scouts were looking at it like, look at Bill Belichick's blueprint on how to build a football team. Well, that was 1991. That was in the 90s, bro. You're gonna have to kind of adapt, and like to Jay's point, like, you know, the youth, maybe he's just not adjusting to the youth. You know, the different wave of athlete now.
I think that youth caught up, you know, to that point to where it's just ain't there no more. And I don't think it's no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's 50 years.
I mean, he's still a great defensive genius. So he needs to be credited for being a defensive genius and for getting and building a team how to work together. You know what I mean? He wasn't a great offensive guy, obviously, but he did everything else that was needed. So he still deserves that respect.
Could he perhaps, or would he want to work in some other capacity? I doubt it. I would think his ego is probably, especially on head coach level.
But the Tuna did it. But the Tuna did it.
Go upstairs.
Yeah, his mentor did it. Parcells.
Yeah, go upstairs.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still around football, you still eating football. You just ain't got a game plan no more. You ain't got to teach it like that no more. Teach it from
That's
the
interesting.
he can work the business side. He's been in the damn league 50 years.
Right.
You know, so it's like, of course, he can be a great mentor on that side too. You know what I'm saying? He still can be a part of building winners and dynasties in the whole deal. You know? So,
yeah.
Hey, Mo, you want to give a shout out to everybody over here?
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the comments. First lady, as always. Jerry is in there saying Pete Carroll was supposed to rebuild, yet they're just competitive every week. Hates him for leaving Reggie Bush high and dry. Alfonso in there. Like we said, Ty. Storms is in there. April. Shout out to April Ortiz on the return.
There's an
to the viewership.
That's because the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
But she's also shouting out.
Raiders by 5.
She's also shouting out Carr for yesterday's performance.
Of course. That's probably why she's here. Now it makes sense. Nonetheless, nice to see you, April. Jaquan is in the building, which at some point we will be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. But next on the menu, like we said, the catering and beverage has been provided by Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Yesterday was a big game that night. We hyped it up. We talked about it. Jay pointed out, don't remember the last time, if ever, where the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys played Sunday night. What's up, Jay?
It was 1990. They played prime time.
See?
Wow.
1990. So it took 33 years for them to just go out and lose by 32 points. Anyways, the Dallas Cowboys got their ass kicked. Okay, they got beat. They got put in the oven, slow roasted, taken out, then burnt. It was final score was 42-10. Shout out to MJ saying 49ers just got their number. I agree. I mean, I think we all felt like San Francisco was going to win that game, but not to this magnitude, not in the manner in which they did. Go ahead, Jerm.
I do recall me saying to you after the show, I feel like this is going to be an old-fashioned ass whooping.
He did.
Yes, you did.
And I said that because This is not the Dallas Cowboys of 6 years ago with the dominant offensive line. This is not the Dallas Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott and they're not running the ball at that rate where they can dominate the line of scrimmage. Because ultimately, if you want to talk about how you're going to beat a team like San Francisco, you got to be able to neutralize their way of controlling the line of scrimmage somewhere. Because if you don't do it, it's just going to get ugly. And that's why it gets ugly for a lot of teams. They overwhelm you. That is the most overwhelming team I've ever seen in my. I'm gonna say that's a San Francisco team from the '80s with all of the free agents. That defense, like that defensive front is the best in the league, and it's really not close because of what they can do with their linebackers. Their linebackers don't even have to be a part of run stuffing because their ends are so exceptional of taking blocks and controlling the edges. And then their interior players are so disruptive that they damn near take up two gaps to begin with. So you got two guys two gapping, and then all four of them are two gapping. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is different. This is not any team we've ever seen before. We haven't seen this much athleticism in a front four ever. You got a defensive end that is faster than half the linebackers in the league, stronger than half the defensive tackles in the league. Not to mention his motor is incredible. What? And then you bring in a free agent, a A gap player who can control the A gap now with Hargrave, and he's next to Kinlaw, and Kinlaw was disgusting at South Carolina. Now you give him a one gap player, then you give him Randy Gregory off the free agent waiver. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Stay healthy is all they got to do.
Obviously, I think there's no denying how dynamic and how unique this San Francisco 49ers football team is. Jay, I'm going to let you jump in there because I heard Germ said something. And once you do the point, that means something you want to say about. So go ahead and jump in there and then we'll go to Vic.
I've been blessed enough to see teams form what I refer to as organizational dynasties. The San Francisco 49ers are an organizational dynasty because they were dominant in different periods throughout the league. You got the Montana years with Bill Walsh. Then you got another championship a handful of years later with Steve Young. When you said 80s football, Jared, the 89 Niners, but you were saying when they brought in all the free agents, the 94 squad, when they brought Prime in and Ricky Jackson and Jared Plummer and all them dudes, and they pretty much ran shop, and they wasn't ready to be fucked with. That's what this crew is. They probably were just keeping their quarterback upright away from being in the Super Bowl last year. It got a little hectic.
Yeah.
It got a little hectic quick, but if he was able to be on the field and compete, they had a chance, I think. After he got knocked out, it was just circle December 3rd. They returned to Philadelphia December 3rd. 320. It's a 325, 425 Eastern joint now.
Now
It is. But either way, it's a prime slot for 425, or if they want to go prime time. And we might get two of those.
I agree.
If the Detroit Lions ain't got something to say about it, I'm just saying we got a real team in the door. Hey, 3-1-3.
Oh my God, Vic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Like we talk about it all the time, how football just changes, like not only weekly, but down to down. It's such an evolving sport. A couple of weeks ago, we're talking about how the Cowboys just, you're looking at the competition in the NFC, and you're like, this might be something where the Cowboys can be in the NFC Championship and get there. But now, when you include the Cardinals, so you got the performance that they had to open the year against the Giants. Then you had the performance they had against the Cardinals, right? So that's roller coaster, drop. And then your last week against the Patriots, and then go back down against the 49ers.
Yes.
So it's been going on forever. Jay knows firsthand, knows how we talk.
Because man, it's like, let's keep it 100. They beating up on Danks.
Yeah.
You beat up on people that can't score no way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the other problem.
Can't score.
Here's what we all are waiting to do. You know what we all waiting on? We're waiting for Dak to catch up.
He might have reached his peak, Jerm. I mean, he might have reached his peak.
I don't know if he can muster up the energy to catch up.
Sometimes the way that the spread falls, it just, you got to be able to spread them out, and you got to be able to diagnose what exactly you need to do with your team.
Oh, I agree.
You got a guy with name Lamb Chops. It's just different. You got guys there that are capable.
But with Dak being said, Jerm, I'm here to roast somebody tonight. You feel me?
And Dak's
I'm not here to make me a sandwich. I'm here to roast somebody. I'm in a very criticizing mood tonight. All right. I am usually in let's be objective, let's be logistical, let's talk about it, let's be practical. I'm agitated tonight. Okay. Thus, I am here to criticize.
Mm-hmm.
And I am here to hold the Dallas Cowboys 1 through 53 accountable for the abysmal performance that we saw yesterday evening on a national television. Okay, on Chris Collinsworth Network, we saw an abomination of a football team. We saw a team who everybody dubbed as Super Bowl contenders. Every single one of us on here acknowledge that this is Dallas's year to lose it. For them to come out last night, I don't care if they don't have Zeke. I don't care if they don't have that same offensive line. The past doesn't matter. Okay, we're not looking for Emmitt Smith to walk through that door. Okay, we're not looking for Big Larry Allen to walk through that door. The football team that they have currently constructed is good enough, should be good enough to compete with anybody. While, again, I picked San Francisco to win, the fact that ass whoopings happen, okay? They happen. Everybody's bound to get their ass whooped at some point. But when it seems like a football team gave up, that becomes a different issue. When it seems like time and time again, when the expectations are there, they flop time and time again. I am going to criticize two people in particular. I'm going to leave Jerry out of it because Jerry has provided the resources to his football team to have a quality roster, to have a quality product on display. He has done that. My issue tonight is with two people, Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott.
Dakota.
On the Mike McCarthy front, I have seen his football team on more than one occasion, even when they had Aaron Rodgers, fail when they should succeed. I have seen them on more than one occasion when everything is prime and ripe for them to go pick the league apart, for them to have an unbelievably disappointing turnout. Remember a few years ago when Aaron Rodgers played all 16 games and they only won 6 games? That's not supposed to happen. what I see sometimes from Mike McCarthy football teams is two things. A team that just can't quite get there. And secondly, a lot of times we would criticize Aaron Rodgers for what he doesn't see. Now, all of a sudden, you have the combination of Dak and McCarthy. Dak already has a problem with not seeing the entire football field. And there are a lot of times where I'm looking at the game and I'm saying, Dak, WTF are you looking at? And yesterday was an example of that in a buffet format. It was drive after drive where you say, Dak, WTF are you looking at? And like I said in the thread, sometimes if you give Dak a lot to look at, he sees nothing at all. And to me, you got to hold McCarthy accountable for not teaching his quarterback how to process the game better. Because we just talked about yesterday how Matt Stafford has become a more intellectual quarterback since going to Sean McVay. There's no reason the same thing shouldn't be happening to Dak Prescott now that he's with Mike McCarthy. But yet here we are, year 2, year 3, whatever we are, and I still have an issue with Dak's vision of the football field. And a shout out to my man, Jerry. I love Jerry. There was a play yesterday where he took a very unnecessary hit. Very unnecessary. He got a sack, and they ended up punting from inside the 10. And then San Francisco, on the return, was inside the 40. So from the return, they were already in scoring position. And I said in the thread, what DF are you looking at, Dak? And Jerry said, what is he supposed to do? Where are we supposed to throw it to? I said, away, to the sideline. Throw it away. Save the 7 yards for your punter, and more importantly, save the body shots that you taken as a quarterback. And there's a lot of times where I feel like, okay, maybe there wasn't a play to be had, but the worst possible outcome happened because of what Dak did not do, or what Dak did not see, or what Dak did not process. So I think yesterday where I was hoping, shout out to Morgan Freeman, hope will drive a man insane, where I was hoping to see a better Dallas football team, a team that would rise to the occasion. Sadly, they did it quite the opposite. And for me, that's a problem moving forward, because it feels like, one, they gave up, and it feels like, two, they are who they are.
And one thing that is slightly overlooked is the 49ers, they obviously failed with the Trey Lance pick, right? But whatever scout jumped on the table, whatever scout went and checked this kid out named Brock Purdy and jumped on the table and said, we need to get this kid in the late round, right? Mr. Irrelevant, he ended up being. I mean, that obviously has saved the 49ers for the next however many years it's going to be. Because, again, when you use a draft pick on a quarterback and he fails, your franchise fails. Brock Purdy has come in and been nothing short of, I mean, almost great. Okay? You know, so I was fooling around a little bit yesterday, messing around with folks, saying Brock Purdy greater than Lamar. Jerry got on me earlier because I said Brock Purdy greater than Dak Prescott, you know, put the little greater sign. Jerry said, yo, you said Baker Mayfield was the second coming, so I'm not even going to listen to you. But Brock Purdy has played some consistent football over the last couple of seasons. And, you know, obviously he's got a great defense to work with. He's got some insane, you know, fun weapons to work with. But this kid was making some serious manly throws yesterday. And if I'm able to catch some of that on film and see what kind of the things he was looking at, you know, this might be a kid that we might have to be talking about as, you know, getting up to the top 15, top half of the league sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. To your point, shout out to Brett Veach, because it was a very similar story with him and Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs. Went to scout an offensive lineman for the Texas Tech in, I think, 2013. And he was just, all he kept talking about was Patrick Mahomes. So Shout out to the scouts. Shout out to the lab. All right,
fellas.
We're gonna go a little rapid fire here, and then we're gonna get to ultimately Russell Wilson. Start off with the London game, boys and girls of America. Jeremy, anything you want to talk about with that? Sorry, my bad.
No, covered everything.
All right. Okay, cool. The Jaguars, the Jacksonville Tottenham Spurs Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills 25-20. Anything you want to talk about, Jeremy, Vic?
I mean, I was interested that when you told me that that the owner of the Jaguars owned the stadium over there. I was like, why would you play 2 home games over there away from Jacksonville? But he owns that stadium. And shout out to them. Shout out to the franchise they're building out there. They definitely beat. They did what they had to do against the Bills. Despite the Bills kind of beating them in different categories yesterday. Shout out to Jacksonville. It's a young team that, we hope to see good things come from them.
Jerm?
Sunshine, sunshine.
Oh, my God. Colts versus Titans. Colts ended up very impressively winning that game. Everybody talked about Jonathan Taylor, but obviously Zach Moss stole the show. According to PFF, 30% of his carries went for a first down or a touchdown. Colts are a very good football team. They're interesting to watch at the very least. And Tennessee, just when you think they're gonna keep Jay Ham awake in the afternoon, they put him to sleep. Fellas, thoughts on that?
Yeah,
really simply put, don't believe in no team from Nashville that don't have Eddie George on the squad.
Vic?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Colts again, like you said. Zach Moss, I benched him for Jonathan Taylor, and that ended up being a huge mistake. So whoever did that, sorry for you too. Hopefully it didn't come into loss. But Richardson, the quarterback, even though he got hurt, we'll see how long he's out. That's a good-looking quarterback as well. So hopefully they found somebody that at least some consistency since losing Andrew Luck a couple years ago.
Jay?
Shout out to Gardner Minshew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lions beat the Panthers 42-24. Lions, man, good football team. Falcons edged one over the Texans 21-19. Look, long term, I think both of these quarterbacks can be good for the league. Dolphins for the Giants. The Giants are not good for the league, but shout out to the Dolphins. Shout out to Tyreek Hill's mom as well. The major 1:00 game, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. Fellas, just spent about 2-3 minutes on this one. There's been a lot of weird games between the Ravens and Steelers over the years. A lot of physical games. This one was no different. This one was one of those games where it was just how Hugh Germ so true, even though he's sick. How did we get here? I am not going to sit here and blame Lamar Jackson today. I am not going to come on here and criticize Lamar Jackson today. Today is not that day. Today, I am not, number one, going to point out a quarterback's flaws against the best defense in the league. Number two, I don't count drops. Like, drops is never an excuse. But when you have 3 drops that are guaranteed 6 points, that's a problem.
Well, there was,
being realistic. Yeah.
There was 7 in total. So, he had to do his part.
I'm not counting the 7 drops. I'm counting the 3 drops that were guaranteed 6.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's just a luck of the Irish type of thing. If I had no luck, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all type of thing. But in the end, shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They are dominant. They just have pieces that work. They have pieces that fit. And one of the most important things that has happened to this defense is having DeMonte Casey, who's able to play center field. Why? That allows you to do so much more with Minkah Fitzpatrick. And then to add to it, you have Quan Alexander and Keanu O'Neal, 2 hybrid type players with speed. I love this defense. Love this defense. Vic?
No, I mean, basically, like you said, everything covered there perfectly with the Steelers. So Pickett played a little bit better than he did previously. So, again, building consistency.
Yeah. Germ.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Drops to me is just like you having a car and complaining about gas. It's bound to happen. At the end of the day, you can't walk around here and we can't say, oh, it was 7 drops. Oh, there was gonna be 6 points. No, that's cool. It happens all the time. The point is, there is gonna be games like that with a young receiving core. There are gonna be games like that in general where you're gonna have drops. There are gonna be games where you have bad officiating. You can't factor in those things and then try to make those as excuses for losses. Losses happen in other ways. We got fumbles there that we can talk about. We got an interception in the red zone that we can talk about. We got a safety that we gave up that we could talk about. There are plenty of other plays and non-winning plays that Baltimore didn't make and Pittsburgh did make.
Right.
So let's just
True.
let's just call it, keep it a bean, and let's just say all turnovers are not created equal. That is the realest thing that Shannon Sharpe ever said. Because if you turn it over in the red zone where you could have got 3 points, that right there is the swing that you didn't need, and that turned out to be the 10-point swing that cost you the game.
Very fair. Jay? Uh-oh. Y'all gonna see why I'm saying uh-oh in a second. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. Let me go get what I got to say out the way there. The drop.
We need the glass break.
Wait.
Drops,
Man, I'm on the beach, man. What did y'all say?
the loss, the drops, the loss, the Baltimore Orioles dropping 2 at home. All of that is the fault of one man. Fernando, it is all your fault. All of the faults of the city of Baltimore right now, we are removing this from off of Germ. Germ don't hate Baltimore. Y'all got to follow up off my little brother on that one. That won't work. Fernando, this one is on you. Shout out to Dion. Dion feel me on this, because Dion even said it himself.
We'll wait for MJ to come back because I know MJ want to talk about some things. Go over the rest of it. Give us some time here. Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, listen, KC did what they're supposed to do. MJ, there he is. What up, MJ? Talk to the people.
What's going on? No, man,
I know you came on for a reason.
No, I didn't. You know something?
Okay.
I just felt the vibe that I was just like, you know something? Let me just go ahead and fellowship with the buddies. That's it. That's all I'm here for, man.
All right.
Hey, but quick shout out, I've won money every week so far. So, hey,
yes, sir.
NFL can't do no wrong to me right now. As long as it's going up, I don't care what happens, bro. The only thing I'm say more though, but go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you. Chiefs at Vikings. Chiefs won that game 27-20. That game went pretty much as I expected to. Nothing really I want to add to this. The Eagles, Eagles and the Cardinals. Eagles and the Bengals. Bengals, we talked about it being a get-right game for the Bengals. They went into Arizona, and they did what they were supposed to do. It was a 60-minute game in a weird way, despite the score. And I just think, shout out to Cincinnati. This might be the game that, fellas, we talked about it like this. Every now and then, a good team, if they start off struggling, they need that get-right game. And this might have been that get-right game for the Cincinnati Bengals. 3 touchdowns, 15 catches. I don't even know how many yards for Jamar Chase, who is always open. Joe Burrow yesterday looked more comfortable than he has all year long. So hopefully this is a get-right game for the Bengals. Around the horn we go. Start with you, Vic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was hoping that Joe got a little bit healthier throughout the week. It looked like he kind of did. Looking forward to see some of the film on that as well. But Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs at the end of the season is much needed for the NFL and for football fans. So we need those kind of quarterbacks up there and competing.
MJ?
Stat correction of what you said. You said Jamar Chase is always open. Actually, he's always fucking open. So I'm happy that Joey B realized that. It took him to go to the media for it. Usually that can end messy, but you know, you can tell that they have a relationship that extends further along the petty. So Joey was like, you know what? He might be right. So let me just give him 27 targets a game until they figure it out. And you know what? Considering Ja'Marr Chase is on my fantasy team, I'm all for this energy. I love this energy.
No, I mean, listen. Sometimes you had games where MJ and Kobe, like they just shooting, and eventually, like what that the infamous Charles Barkley clip, Michael Jordan shot the ball how many times? Sometimes you just got to do that. Like when a player is that great and has the ability to be that dominant, you just got to do that. Germ.
Yep.
My bad.
I mean, listen, they gave chase, and it did not, to no prevail.
Hey, it went well. It went well. That's a well that don't get dry.
I'm gonna tell you, hell, Chase is a bank. Chase got all the money.
Absolutely.
If it's money,
Jay, anything you want to say?
House dog of the week candidate.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
he'll be on the poll tomorrow morning.
All right, this
shout out to everybody that threw some nominations too on there too.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That post got 50-something comments. So shout out to you for that engagement.
And it was like folks was actually watching some good football this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up.
No doubt. Shout out to everybody who participates, involves, commenting. The comment section on this live is just going off, and I love the energy. This next game, I feel very strongly about what I'm about to say in this next game. Eagles versus the Rams. Eagles ultimately won this game, 23-14. I thought the Rams did a couple things to kind of shoot themselves in the foot. I wholeheartedly believe, and you can clip it, and YouTube makes it easy to clip now. You can it's right there. Just click the button. You can clip this. If they play again, the Rams will beat them. If they play again, Matt Stafford is throwing for 300 plus. Shout out to the Eagles. They are a great football team, but I just think that defense, there is so much room for activities in between the hash marks of that defense. Okay. And somebody somewhere along the line is going to shred them over and over and over and over again. I don't know who it's going to be, but if any team in the NFC can do it, it's going to be the Los Angeles Rams. Germ?
I just kind of felt like it was going to be a little bit more of a dominating performance from Philly. Controlling the line of scrimmage is what they do. That's what they do well. Thought the Rams are a little light in the ass. Just think that's where we get this. Just is what it is.
Yes. MJ?
I'm just now a firm advocate of wide receivers calling out their quarterbacks. It's clearly it works. That's another wide receiver that was like, "Yo, bro, you gotta give me that field." And when he started doing it, look what happened. AJ Brown is looking amazing right now. I think that's the real reason why the office is opened up. For a second, let's go a week without talking about the tush push, and let's just acknowledge the fact that this team is playing hard and they're doing it on both sides of the ball. The question is, have they reached their ceiling? Because it's very early, and I don't see any room for them just becoming a better version of that. Maybe getting Devontae Smith more involved. I'm not sure. So it's early. Around week 6, I'll have more info for you, and that's what I'm gonna be on DraftKings after that. I'm gonna be getting all that money. Pause. So,
Vic.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Jalen for getting Dallas Goedert involved yesterday. For any Dallas Goedert owners, waiting for him to show his talents because we know that he can play. He was able to, put out a solid performance. But yeah, I'm with you there, Mo. I think the Rams had a chance a couple of times to kind of make this game more interesting than it was. So hopefully down the line we might see a good playoff game between the two teams.
Hopefully, Jay.
Said it earlier. I'll say it again. December 3rd. San Fran returns to Philly. Circle the date for that. Circle the day for that one. That could be an NFC Championship preview.
Very much so. All right. The New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. The Jets won. The Broncos lost.
Yeah.
Yet another game where we say, what the hell is wrong with Russell Wilson?
Oh, my God.
Over the last few years, there's been a few things here and there about people talking that Russell Wilson is corny. Russell Wilson is a snob. Russell Wilson is a fraud. He's not genuine. And then obviously some of the apologists, or not even apologists, just the supporters, want to say he's a professional, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, bro. You are not in the boardroom, okay? You are not showing up to work with a suit and tie on from Men's Warehouse every day, and you trying to climb up the snob ladder. All right, you are a football player, and you go to work with people who have either been through war in their lives, going through war right now. Like you are surrounded by people who went through hell and back to get to where they are. You are surrounded by people who've been through some real shit in their lives to get where they are. And they showing up week in and week out, putting their bodies on the line for a greater purpose. And these are the same people that you go to war with. And these are people that are protecting you. These are people that are running for you. These are people that are catching for you, making tackles for you. Because in the end, as the quarterback, you will ultimately get all the glory. It is the quarterback that's on the stage after the Super Bowl with the owner and the coach. It's not the mid linebacker. It's not the defensive tackle. It's not the left guard. It's the quarterback. That's you. So you have a certain responsibility to your teammates. Forget the media. Forget the charities or for whatever else. I'm trying so hard not to cuss.
Just let it ride, bro. Let it go. You already cursed. I curse. Just let it out. It's better. Like it's for my therapist tells me you have to release. Release is crazy. I'm sorry. Release is crazy.
Everything that has been said about Russell Wilson, because I'm gonna go on a corner before I go on just a rant for forever. Everything that's been said about Russell Wilson has turned out to be true. Like this dude is truly corny. This dude is truly a snob. This dude is a fraud. He's a fraud. I'm gonna say it like it is, MJ, because like if I was to see him and he wants to shake my hand and say, hey, golly gee shucks, how are you? Living the dream, you know. I don't need that from my quarterback. I don't need that from my leader. Do you know if I was Marshawn Lynch, I was walking into the locker room the very next day. The first play we run, I don't care if it's walkthrough, and he goes to do a fake handoff, I'm punching him in his mouth. I'm trying to call you, and I got to go through channels to get to you?
No, sir.
I got to go through channels to get to you? Bro. And then you going to call me back star 67? I'm going to leave it right there for now. Go ahead. Y'all take it away.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to go a different direction. So this has nothing to do with football. We're talking about humanity. And to be real, I didn't come here to roast Russ. I came here to roast everybody else. And here's why. For my beautiful men and women, especially black men and black women, this is for you. I am going to need for you guys to stop living other people's stereotypes, especially when it comes true. We have a group of men. We have a group of men who work 9 to 5, bust their ass, probably wasn't the coolest guy in high school, probably had problems with pulling the prom queen, that live vicariously through guys like Russell Wilson and how they act and feel like they are Russell Wilson because of the situation of judgment that he receives without even knowing who Russell Wilson is. And we do this over and over and over. We do this with Black women who happen to be promiscuous, white women who happen to be promiscuous, Black women who are good, not good. Everybody is putting a cape on and saving people that they don't even fucking know. Stop it. Stop it. Guess what? I hear a lot of light-skinned jokes. Guess what? They funny as hell because most of the time it do apply. It just don't apply to me. So why am I getting mad? Why am I caping for another light-skinned dude when this really is some light-skinned shit? They do it.
Right.
If a spade is a spade, and I call it a spade, why is this heart coming to me saying, why are you talking about that spade? Who the fuck are you? It's not about you right now. When we play hearts, we'll talk hearts. Right now, we playing spades, and I'm talking about this spade. So, with all that being said, until Marshawn Lynch's interview, I didn't know anything about the guy. That's why I never said anything.
Right.
Now that this information has come about, this is what everybody has been talking about. However, they just guessed and guessed right. So they still assumed it just happened to be the right assumption. With that being said, now bringing it back to football. Quarterback is the most human position in the football game. It's not just about making all the throws. It's not about making all the right reads. You have 53 dudes that are going through 60 car crashes a game for you because they believe in you. If you cannot be a leader of men, if you cannot figure out a way to find balance, tolerance, and peace with people who walk a different light than you, who think different than you, who move different than you, then you are not fit for that position. And what we are learning now is we are learning now that we know who he is, we are now in complete understanding as to why Denver Broncos are on the demise and why they will continue to be on the demise until he gets replaced or until he turns a new leaf, start taking some sensitivity courses. Maybe Sierra could take him to the hood. I don't know. But just figure out a way to find that balance and medium. And just a little inside game. Russell Wilson actually admitted to being a bully in high school. So he does fit the description of one of those suburban guys who used to pick on others. He admitted it and he apologized for it. So everything that y'all said about this dude, he admitted it himself in so many ways.
Bro, how dare you disrespect me looking like you the extra on Life of Pi? Are you kidding me? He was a bully?
Yes.
Go ahead,
hold on.
Vic.
No, because listen, Jay, these two dudes, they set this up. It's gonna be tough to kind of get to the level that they just set this up. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot here.
You got it.
Hey, MJ, I'm gonna disagree with one little thing that you said there.
Okay.
Living vicariously through him might be giving him a little bit too much credit. I got one name for you, Carlton Banks.
Oh,
Russ.
Not C-Note either.
And not only that, Russ, I think Carlton Banks was cooler than you.
Damn. I thought you came in.
That suburban dude that knows nothing about what it is to grow up in the block, knows nothing about those trenches. Okay? Look at Jeremy.
If this is peace, I don't know what war is.
Keep going. I'm here. I'm here for you.
You got it. Keep going. No, keep going. Keep going. The truth gonna hurt you, Russ.
Carlton Banks might be cooler than you, Russ, because at least he tried to be in Will Smith's life. At least he tried to be in the other kid, the friend, I forget his name, the DJ or whatever he was. Okay, at least he tried to be cool. Russ, you telling me that you look at a Marshawn Lynch, a guy that's really been in the trenches growing up since he was a baby, you look at him as lesser than you? He's lesser than you? That you have to call him through Star 67? And you're supposed to be a Christian man?
Oh.
You're supposed to be a Christian man, Russ?
Oh, God.
Oh.
You're supposed to be setting an example, bro. You're a quarterback, you're a Christian man, and you're a family man, bro. Be better than that, cuz, because your team sucks right now. And it's probably because you suck at life and you suck at the position. And this is a dude that you were supposed to be the next thing for me, bro.
Hey, We get
Yo, if I see him, I'm like this.
Let's just keep it clear. When Vic is saying he sucks at life, it's obviously it's not about anything about his success as a professional, but on a human level, bro. On a human level, arrogance is a sin. You know, like you can't pretend to be above anybody. If there's one thing I've learned in this life, bro, is one day for you, one day is for the next. So if for Russ to walk around here, like what? Because you had a regular structured household and college, and you go to church and you wear a bow tie for Sunday brunch. That makes you better than Marshawn Lynch,
bro.
He actually got exposed as a player by being a turd.
Yes.
And it like went over time. I truly think this really started like this when they won the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Because see, he come in, he get drafted, they sign Matt Flynn, he outplayed Matt Flynn in camp. So the talent part and the work ethic part, that wasn't an issue. After he won and then they got back, and look at how they lost. And the dispute about who called what, who called run, who called pass, who did this, that. He got something to do with that. He got a whole lot. He's the quarterback. He got a whole lot to do with that. And then just think of the eventual just downward spiral they had as an organization. And that organization is really 30 for 30 words. There's a whole lot of stuff that people don't know about the Seahawks. Them some crazy dudes.
Yeah.
Real for real. So, and again, he was the quarterback of that. Same dude that had 5 turnovers in an NFC Championship game, but he got to that Super Bowl and then what did he try to do in the end? Tried to win it. Tried to strong arm it and win it on his own. His arrogance has been there, and then it started to work his way back down, even to the point to where he come at the end, and there you go. Now it caught up. Found out he a slow dude.
Hey, but how ironic is it that Russell Wilson don't go to the hood, but he probably bought one of them burner phones from Saul Goodman. It's crazy to me. Like one of them 12 button boys. Like, I refuse to believe he called that from his actual phone. That man bought a Saul Goodman burner.
Bro,
all of us except for Vic can relate to this. It reminded me of like when Rick Wild Thing Vaughn came back on Major League 2 when he was clean cut.
Yeah.
Except Russ was never the street part of it. He was already clean cut, but with how Rick came back, this asshole arrogant. And it showed in his game. Now he can't even, he was so arrogant and so hard and stuff, he couldn't even throw the fastball no more. You know what I'm saying? So it was psychological though. And in this case, for what Russ doing and how, he going about it, it's psychological in that too. Like you said, Chef, for him to have the nerve to think that he's of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that manner, like, you're a leader now. You're a leader of men.
And to be real, the only reason why I pissed us off is because we protect guys like Marshawn Lynch at all costs. Because it's so rare you have somebody that is unapologetically themselves and still have a great heart. Walking around this planet, despite him being a person that could easily not have to go that direction. He goes out his way to be real. He goes out his way to be a guy that is helping others with the blessings that he received. So,
and I said it yesterday on the show. He wanted to win championships. He could have been could have been rebellious his whole career. He wanted to win though.
Yeah, and the more we think about it, there's no way in hell that play made sense, except for the fact that Marshawn wasn't really active with the media during that time. So for him to get MVP would have really opened up the door for athletes to be like, I could just be good and not have to talk to the media. And I think everybody was worried about that.
Oh, a nice little conspiracy theory there.
I try not to. I know I'm 30% Hotep. I try not to tap into it, but stuff be just like right there. I can't help but say.
Yeah.
Germ, it's
I don't know, man.
We set it up for Germ. Germ, talk to me.
Yeah, the game started, so we gotta.
I mean, when it comes down to stuff like this, I am a person that will tell you that his game on the field has always been he doesn't trust the things that he sees with his eyes. That's what I've always said about Russ. I can show play after play after play. The point is, right now we're starting to see, and what we're starting to see right now, this is really, really crazy that we're saying this right now. But what we're starting to see right now is we're starting to see a guy unravel. And what we're starting to see is we're starting to see the unraveling around him, which makes the Sierra and Future situation even more interesting. Because the Sierra and Future situation now becomes, so he wasn't just this great guy and everything else like that. So you mean to tell me that this particular guy wasn't what everybody was saying? He wasn't the great and awesome guy?
Listen. Game started. Show's over. Y'all keep watching. I have always, and this might expose some things about me, or it shouldn't. I think anybody can attest I'm a gentleman. Okay. However, I have always told female friends, female acquaintances, female affiliates, be careful of the nice guy. Okay? Do not fall for the, I'm a nice guy. Okay? Because the nice guy is just a borderline fucking psychopath that is keeping it in the closet. Okay? That is the ultimate truth. The nice guy, the G shucks. Let me open the door for you. Like, bro, if you going out of your way to open the door for her, not saying there's nothing wrong with opening the door for a woman. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna like go on to oncoming traffic and open the door for you. Like, I'm gonna open my side and then open yours.
Basically, what a nice guy is a non-for-profit organization.
Ooh.
That's all it is. Let's talk about this. Like, the business for men who are single is to get women. Whether now, depending on where you're at in your life, if you're mature mentally, is to get one woman to build with. If you're not mature mentally, is to get a lot of women to sleep with. Whether you are a non-for-profit, a LLC, or a big corporation, the objective remains the same. The only difference with the non-for-profit is they tell you they're going to just do a little bit of something else to give back to make you feel better for contributing. But guess what? The NFL is a non-for-profit organization. Please tell me you think that they ain't making no money, because if you think they ain't making no money, I got swampland in Florida to sell to you. So,
first of all, Tanya, had I told you, you still wouldn't have listened. Secondly, I don't.
Hey, wait.
Tanya said I never told her that. I like, you still wasn't gonna listen to me, Tanya. Look at April. Nope, I like the thugs. Okay, all right.
We just said get you a balanced one.
Late April, stop
Get
lying.
you a balanced one. Exactly. Get you a balanced one. Okay, because if
you don't take no shit but buy you roses, you with it. Simple.
Right. like it's okay for a man to buy flowers and romantic dinners and little getaways, whatever. That's all good, you know. But the nice guy, don't ever trust the nice guy. Ever.
They won't
ever.
think they have one. They just going about it the different direction.
It's just like and us, and again, like, yes, Russell Wilson is successful in his life. Good for you, brother.
Yeah.
But you fraudulent. Like you just a fraudulent dude. And listen, man, I have been in many different situations in my life. I have been and encountered many different people in my life from all walks, from all social classes. You wouldn't even believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I can proudly tell you that as a man, I have never been in a room, in a situation, in a conversation, in an interaction where I felt better than the person across from me. Ever.
Talk.
No, we don't do that.
Hell no.
That's off y'all for multitasking, listening to us rant and watching the game. Salute to y'all.
Yeah.
Jerry said.
Should have been ended this.
Jerry said I'm more thug than Russ.
He is.
Hey,
he is.
Jerry did 7 years in the pen. Jerry did 7 years. Let me tell you
something. Let me tell you something. Because now we're gonna get into a different conversation about being a nice guy or being this way or being that way. Like cliches are what's obsolete. I'm not obsolete. I don't know what the word is, but like if you the guy wearing the bow tie and everything and saying hello, how are you? Yes, hi, and trying to be all extra respectful, that's the fraud. The dude walking around with his pants half hanging down, trying to make himself look like he a quote unquote thug. That's the fraud. Okay, right. Like there is a certain way. Just a real man, a real one, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to carry himself, no matter what walk of life he is, whether he's a CEO or whether he's on the streets. And if you're on the streets, you can be a CEO. That's a whole different business, okay? Because it still is a business. We are getting way off the rails. Nonetheless,
but at the end of the day, it's two decisions a human has to make. They have to make a decision as to what's right and what's real. And when you become balanced, what's right always ends up being real, and what's real always ends up being right.
Yeah.
And that's the target.
Yes.
If I have to change my voice to get something, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to change my core ideologies of just treating people right to move forward, I'll stay.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at, though. And, eventually it's a longer road. You go the long way with it, but it always come back full circle. And you get it and it feels more better because you don't got to look in the mirror and lie to yourself.
100% agree.
I mean, like I said,
we're going to be here all night.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you go. We're going to literally be here all night. I'm sure we're going to stay on the DC for a little bit. If anybody wants to join us, let us know. We're going to jump off. Run the horn real quick. I'm feeling the Raiders tonight. I'm going Raiders by 6 points. Germ?
You didn't think about this shit.
Come back to me, because I'm still
Vic?
Hey, I mean, listen, Jimmy, you got to be better, dog. Because I'm about ready to kick you off the cliff, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was one of my favorite quarterbacks, especially being behind Brady for a couple years. He showed some type of flash, but just another roller coaster ride right there. So I want to see Jimmy wake up today. I want to see the Raiders win this game.
Jay?
As far as Russ goes, it's pretty much like this. Mind your own damn business, and you won't have to worry about none of this. That's pretty much what my brother MJ was hitting on. Stay in your lane, run your race, do you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because stop worrying about the next cat, what they doing. All these other folk business, man. Get you some business of your own, Chief. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, though. I like what MJ, I like the route you took. You know what I'm saying? Where you didn't necessarily go at Russ, but you went at the rest of us, all of us, everybody.
Because it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've been hearing it for like the last couple of years, even on like mainstream podcasts, Channing Crowder going viral, talk about this dude just, he corny. But for what reason? What's your purpose for highlighting that this dude is corny? You ain't been Marshawn telling the story and then calling him corny. That's one thing. He just showed you, what the play is. But to make this the snap judgment, that's the corny part to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From the cats that just, within our culture. So like you said, Vic, I had to spin it back to where MJ was going because it's really we the ones that feed that BS. More so than anything, right? Good, bad, and different, And it's more bad than anything in our culture.
Yeah, we're as a culture, we're the 300-pound guy that goes to the strip club and give hundreds and thousands of dollars to the woman that just keeps saying, "Oh, you're so sexy, daddy. Oh, I love you, daddy," and tell us everything we want to hear, and we walk away feeling like a whole new man or woman. But at the end of the day, the real is she looked at you for entertainment as a check, and you look at her for entertainment.
Yes.
But the lie, because you believe in the lie, makes you feel better. Let's stop believing lies to feel better.
Jerm, your final thoughts?
Just give me the Raiders. I ain't got nothing else to say.
I got you.
Ooh, Lord.
Take us home, baby.
Coming.
Yes.
22. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, we'll literally be here all night.